Hello, guys. So the game week 2 has ended, and here we are in the aftermath of game week 2. What a crazy game week! FPL wise, it wasn't that crazy. We're still starting out, but football wise, it was so fun. It was so chaotic. It was a wonderful, wonderful watch. Especially the Chelsea game. Oh man, Chelsea Spurs Tuchel Conte fight. I think it was a blockbuster movie. Coming back to last night, what happened last night, it was, oh, that was crazy what Darwin did, the headbutting and everything. I think that was really crazy. And now he's out for 3 game weeks, so now at least we have some sort of semblance of what to do. And there aren't many we aren't many transfers away from the template or from the better team, but it was a crazy game week football wise. Let's just analyze how was game week 2. And I will quickly just we will just quickly go through the games and how those games panned out to be, what worked for us football wise, what worked for the FPL managers FPL wise. Let's have a quick glance over everything, whatever happened, whatever panned out. So yes, just let me have a quick look at what happened. And just a second, guys. It is taking a bit of a time to open up. Fix just the results. Yes. Let's start with the startings. Aston Villa 2, Everton 1. I think it was one of those, again, one of those sort of boring games to start with, not because of the kind of teams they were playing, the kind of approach they had towards the game. I think Aston Villa looked better. I think with Watkins starting with Dean, sorry, Ings, I think they looked better. And Buendia is looking the sharpest amongst them. And I am a Bay owner. We Most of us have Bay in our teams. Now this match leaves us in a very uh, deep predicament as to what to do with Bay. Bay did not start it. Bay did not start in spite of whatever great comments and applaud he had from the manager's TV. Now this is where I feel the managers are more political, and we should take everything whatever they say in press conferences with a grain of salt, because they are just trying to either box someone down or to pump some player up. See, it has happened a couple of times. We see with Pep, he was giving a lot of praise to Grealish, and then he benched Grealish, and Foden started from the left, and Foden then got benched, then got subbed in the half time, and Grealish was back. And again in the press conference, he told us that Pep told us that because Grealish played well in the last game, so I wanted to give him some more minutes. I think it's a bit bizarre. It is not bizarre for them. For us as FPL managers, whatever Stevie said in the last PC, he was really up and about and gung ho about B, and he was saying that he was looking sharp and everything. And now he did not start in the last game week, and Aston Villa looked sharper. So now, when Aston Villa looked sharper, now that they have a win under their belt, where does that leave us for B? I think it is very difficult. I have Bay, but I just don't know what to do with him. He's at such a difficult price point, and this is the thing. Even before getting him, before game week 1, I knew what I was getting into. But still, I saw him in those uh, preseason games, and he looked good. And his Bundesliga record, and that kind of pushed me towards having him in my team. And then here we are again having this same discussion of what to do with the 5 million midfielder. Apart from the fact that I have point 0.5 million in the bank, what are the other options? Seriously, Gordon, yes, he's talented, he's dribbling well. I just think what do you think of Ramsey versus Bailey? SK, uh, I think Ramsey will start more matches as of now against Bailey. I think Bailey looked sharper, but without him, Aston Villa's formation looked better, and Aston Villa did get the win over Everton. So I don't see them starting with Bay in the next game week, it's a difficult conversation to have. I still have Bay, and it is just that I wouldn't advise anyone to buy Bay, by the way. What I mean by this difficult conundrum is whether to sell him or to keep him, because there are no better, you see, there are no better takers for him. There's no clear answer. Oh, you can go for this player against B. If I go for I have zero point 0.5 in the bank. If I go for a 5.5 player, I think I'm just wasting another zero point 0.5. I can use them somewhere in the future in my forward line or in my back line, because even the likes of Neto, Podence, they're not doing that great. Yes, they are just ticking along. Podence did score a goal. Neto has looked good, but I am not really sure. I think he's going down tonight in price, and I can move him for Neto, or I will just have Bay and just see whatever he gets me, because it's really difficult to do anything with this spot. And moreover, people and other content creators are asking us to sell Bay for a defender. I'm already playing a formation with five defenders, so there's no point of selling him for a expensive defender or something of that sort. So if you have Bay, I would suggest, if you can move him to a Martinelli, say a Martinelli, just do it without giving it even a second thought. But if you are not sure, if your money is, if you don't have a fifth defender, just get rid of Bay and get a fifth defender. I think that would be great. A fifth, even a Zinchenko, even a 4.5 million defender, Saliba will fetch you more points. And this, the thing is, a player like me who doesn't take many risks with all of his team, but take risks in a few spots. So I've already taken the risk with Mahrez. I have sold Mahrez now. I have got another Man City player that I will tell you guys later when I have the blog with my missus, and then I will reveal my team. But I'm just not sure about what to do with Bay. SK is interested. SK is interested. Another City midfielder SK. If you want to guess, and it's not Foden, and I didn't have the money for a KDB because I've already invested everything in Haaland and Salah. I think now you know whom I have gone for. So yeah, the Bay conundrum is tough. Everton, on the other hand, looked very bad. I think Everton looked very poor. Yes, they had their chances, but I think Lampard's journey can be in danger. Really, he can. Lampard is an endangered species that way. I think he can be sacked in the recent future if things go the way they are going, because they are just not looking strong enough. They are just they don't have a number nine. I think they are just struggling to have a number nine. I'm really surprised by the kind of jitteriness this team is showing. So Everton, I'm just not. Just I don't want to say anything bad, but I don't have anything positive to say about Everton. But just still, if you want a silver lining in the dark clouds, I will say that defensively they looked okay. They looked better, even though they uh, conceded a couple of goals. I think they look better, and I think with time, Cody will get strong. Cody will gel better with that defensive unit, and I think they will ship less goals. However, that cannot be said about them offensively. And in this match, Watkins scored both the assists. So Watkins again, this is the thing with Watkins. When nobody owns him, he sort of shows his worth, and then suddenly when everybody is on him, he will disappear. Poof, he will not do anything. Bondia and Ings scored the goals. Dinya scored an own goal. I think is one of the biggest trollers I have seen in FPL wise. I think whenever people have Dinya, he just flatters to deceive, and even though he's one of the better wing backs of the French team, but I still feel that he's the biggest troller. Every year I give him a clean slate. This year also I gave him a clean slate, but I did not start him. All those fixtures were good because I'm so much in fear of this pick. See, I am in fear of Mahrez also, but I picked him because I know Mahrez can do this, but just Genia is just a troll pick for me. And now, when I don't have him, I still can see him conceding own goals and everything. So I just feel bad for his owners. I think they have picked him over cash for some attacking returns and clean sheets, neither is coming. And that becomes bad when you concede a goal so late in the match. I think Watkins, Bondia, and Ings were the best, were the most, were the having the most BPS score, and so they got all the bonus. Next was Kamara, and then somebody from Everton called Tarkowski. Yes, the famous defender had 19 BPS, so he did not get anything. So Watkins, Bundy, and Ings got the bonus points. So this was about the game Aston Villa versus Everton. Now we come on to the first biggie, Arsenal versus Leicester. Oh God, what is Arsenal on? The famous liquid football that we are seeing from Arsenal. I think Arsenal, just by looking at them, I see a team who's trying to copy. I shouldn't use the word copy. Okay, let me rephrase this. Just by looking at Arsenal, I think I see a team which is playing on similar lines like that of Man City. Now, that is because Arteta has spent some time with Pep as an assistant with Man City, and I think tactically he's very good too. Arteta. I think if you guys are watching All or Nothing Arsenal at Amazon, I think it's really good. And my respect for Arteta has really gone notches after we seeing that show. I think all of you football guys must see that Arsenal All or Nothing at Amazon Prime. It's absolutely wonderful to see that. Coming back to FPL, I think Arsenal was on it. I think Leicester looked weak. We all gave Leicester a clean sheet considering Fofana. They have Fofana and Evans, and everything is good, and they're center. They are not playing Europe and everything. I think they will still score goals, but defensively they are looking a pale shadow of themselves. I think they are looking very poor defensively, and if we speak about Arsenal, Jesus, I think Jesus really paved the way. I think Jesus looked really good, and Gabriel Jesus, I think, is if you still don't have him, I think you should go for him. Considering the other next two matches are against opponents who have been promoted. Quack quack. Hello, rubber ducky. So yeah, I think. If you don't have Jesus right now, I think you should still go for him. Jesus is a great pick. And what was surprising for me was the positioning of Saka. I think Saka was involved in the match, but he was not involved that much in the goal scoring system. I think he looked a bit off, and I think what Arteta might do is he might get him as a winger. I am not sure about it, but I feel with the kind of involvement he's showing, I think there's a possibility that Saka might start as a winger. This is just what I'm guessing. It is not written there, but I think that this is a grave possibility. And Zaka, the other one, I think he bombed forward. I think he looked very good. He gave an assist, he scored a goal, and I think we should have a look on Zaka really. Saliba was unfortunate. He got that own goal. I think Ramsdale should have done better. I think Ramsdale should have saved that. The thing with Ramsdale is, I know he's on numerous teams, and Arsenal have looked better defensively. The thing is that I just think he's not looking the same Ramsdale from the last season. I think he's even after I thought that after the last game's clean sheet, he will get a bit of confidence and he will move forward. I just didn't see that. Uh, I saw a jaded keeper. I saw a keeper who either makes a brilliant save or just uh, fumbles with the ball. I think in some way or the other he's struggling somewhere. Although Arsenal has looked better defensively, I think that own goal could have been stopped. I think Ramsdale could have done better. I just don't know where his mind at, but some of his saves are really good. So it is very difficult to put a finger. I might be wrong. It might be just a one-off, but I saw this in the first match also. I thought it was nerves. I thought he was a bit jittery. I thought he was a bit jaded. But in the second game also, I saw the same Ramsdale. Either he was making some wonderful saves, or I think he was a bit shabby in some of the saves. And I just don't understand. Otherwise, with goalkeepers, we see either they are very good or they are very poor. With Ramsdale, either he's making some great saves or he's just allowing some stupid goals to pass in. And this to me points that I don't see his mental involvement being there. I don't know what is the matter. I might be fully off, but still, Jesus, I don't need to speak much about Jesus. The first goal that Jesus speak, I think it was wonderful to see him scoring such goal. I think he has that caliber, and I think he's grossly underpriced here. I know people are saying that he came from City to Arsenal, but I still feel Jesus was a bit underpriced, massively underpriced. I think the kind of involvement. This is why we shouldn't judge players by their outputs. You see, in the first game, also, especially in the first half an hour, I think Jesus looked the part. I think he was really good, and but he had nothing to show for outcome wise. But in the second game, he really paved the way in every freaking attack. He was there. Secondly, I think if Martinelli, I'm really curious. I don't have him. I don't have the money to get him. I'm really stuck with this problem. I really want to have Martinelli, but unfortunately, there is no way I could. Just there's no budget for me. I don't want to part with any other players of mine. I just wanted Bay to Martinelli very badly, but since Martinelli has already increased his price twice, and I think today also is going up. So guys, yes, if you want to go for Martinelli, just go because at night I think he's going in price again up, and I will just see. At the end of the stream, I will tell you guys who was supposed to go up and who was supposed to go down. But I think Martinelli looked fab from the left. I think he looked really attacking, and I think he could have got one more goal or an assist. I think we have already talked about. Now I really want to talk about Madison. I think if you are not thinking of Madison, I think you should start thinking. When I removed Mahrez from my team, I was really bullish on Madison. The problem with my team is that I am a manager who is a bit biased towards City because it's my team, and I'm not able to separate my biasness with the team I have. So especially when they are the champions. You see, if you're don't mind Man United fans, but if your team is like Man United and you are the biggest fan, you can still easily separate your love towards your team with your FPL team. But if your team is two-time champions and defending champions, then it is a bit difficult to separate your feelings in the emotions you have for your team and that of your FPL team. So it kind of comes in between. So I had Mahrez, and with Mahrez, I don't know what is happening. He wasn't. He came on for 2 or 3 minutes, I think, in the first game, and in the second game, he played, I think, all the minutes. I think 80, 85, or 90 odd minutes. I am just surprised what to make of it. Yes, yes, SK, you are right. I have Gundo in my team. I have Gundo in my team. I think. Why I'm so happy is the day I made him the captain, and the next day what I read is really it really gives so much joy to my heart, and that is that Gundo has been made the club captain. Man City club captain is Gundo. I think Gundo is a wonderful, wonderful prospect for us. I think he was the first signing when Pep came and took us over. I think he was the first Pep signing, and he has really showed what kind of player he was. And especially in some seasons, in those COVID hit seasons when KDB was brutally injured, Foden was in and out, Mahrez was a bit out of form. I think it was Gundo who literally on his single arm he took our team to the finales and took us to titles. I think Gundo is seriously underrated by our fans, and I think Ilkay Gundogan is one to watch out for. Now, that is not the primary reason I have him. Whatever I have seen of him in the first 2 game weeks, I'm really impressed by that, and I'm really impressed by the kind of number 8 position he's playing, by the kind of runs he's making, and what Pep said and what Kevin De Bruyne said. I think that sounded good to me. What he said, in short, what Kevin said was, if Haaland has space and he will do the running, all of us will provide the passes to him. The width will be provided by either Foden or Grish on the left, or Foden or Mahrez on the right, and by the number eights, that is De Bruyne and Gundo oblique Bernardo Silva. Now, the next statement he made was, but if somehow, like in the Bournemouth game, couple of defenders are busy marking Haaland, and they have a low block team, I think then the number eights, especially KDB and Gundo. I think these two will make the run, and Haaland will look to pass to them in a 1-2, quick 1-2, like they did with the first goal. So I think that really amazes me, and I think that is one of the reasons I went for Gundo. Now with the you see now with the um, City midfielder, we always have this conundrum of whether he will start or not. But I think it's a poison that I like to have. So yeah, now we again went to City. I think we shouldn't go with City right now. We are talking about Arsenal and Leicester City. We were talking about Madison. I think Madison is a great pick. Madison has some great fixtures coming up, and I think with no European football, I don't see them keeping a clean sheet more than a couple of clean sheet in the first 10 games. So I would ask you guys to not to be a part of their defensive lineup. I would advise you guys to be more into it as far as their forward line is concerned. I think uh, he was more forward than Vardy, and I think if you're going for a Leicester attacker, I think he is just an out and out great pick. I think Madison is one of the, and I think he will keep chipping. I think he will keep chipping on points, and at the end of the season, when you will see his points, it's going to be either a 180 or a 200 pointer. So what I would suggest is he would be that kind of pick that you just buy him in and just keep him for the rest of the season, and he will keep on providing. That's the sort of player Jamie Madison is, and I think with the World Cup looming, World Cup coming up in Qatar, I think Madison wants to prove his part. Madison wants to be on that bus to Qatar, on that plane to Qatar, but. I feel Madison should not be overlooked. I think we all are overlooking Madison, and the assists for the Leicester goals were provided by Iheanacho and Justin. I still feel Justin will provide some attacking returns, but again, if you seriously don't have much clean sheet potential, any, I don't see any benefits of giving or putting my faith on Justin. So I just want to keep out of it. Uh, Bonus points, I think Jesus bagged the most of the bonus points. He got three, Granit got two, and Martinelli got the one. So I think these were some nice numbers. Jesus was way up. I think his BPS was 65, and the second best was that of Granit Xhaka, and it was 35. So Granit, I think, is the one to look out for. I think he's bombing way too forward. I know with the likes of Martinelli, Saka, Zinchenko, Ramsdale, Gabriel, Jesus, we I think yeah, granite is being a bit overlooked, but this season I think if we start with a clean sheet, I think granite in both the games, I think he was way forward. I have never seen him going that forward. I again think it is a matter of system, and I again think that Arteta is trying to play a more liquid formation like that of Man City. So I think he really likes the this liquid way of playing where uh, the numbers actually don't matter. Like in our team, when Cancelo can wear a number seven, you just need no other this. So yeah, this is my point with Granite. Just keep an eye on Granite Zak. I think he's bombing forward a lot forward than I have ever seen him in playing for his Arsenal career or any other career. Yeah. So I think he's a great shout. I think Jesus and Martinelli are must owns. Zinchenko looked very sharp. Saliba looked really good. Gabriel looked good. I think offensively and defensively they are looking great. Saka is yet to perform, so I'm not going to say much about him. But if, like me, you don't have Martinelli, if you can have an access to him, he's a cheap. He's a 6.2. Go for him right now. Tonight he might be 6.3. So yeah, this was about Arsenal and Leicester. Now we'll talk about Brighton and Newcastle. Now, although this match was a nil-nil, I really want to talk about this match because of the fact that Newcastle is going to play us the next game week. Now, a lot of players are going for Salah as captain against Manchester United, considering their defense and everything. I think it's a great shout. I think we'll come over to United and Liverpool when their turns come. But why I wanted to pick this match is because Brighton, I think, at many instances exposed Newcastle's defense. I think Newcastle is very lucky to have not conceded at least 2 or 3 goals in this match, leave alone have a clean sheet. So I think whatever data the content creators are portraying or making graphs on, I think it is a bit flawed. I think Newcastle gave away a lot of chances, a couple of big chances, easy big chances, a lot of small chances. There were a couple of occasions when the ball almost crossed the line. I just feel that it was the same old Brighton who had a lot of chances, but they flattered to deceive and they did not convert any one of them. So I just feel Haaland can. I know my love for Haaland, but I think nobody, most of the content creators are not giving enough attention to Haaland for this match against for this match. So I'm really not sure. Uh, I think Haaland is a great pick. We will come on to City when we will discuss them. But I think Newcastle. What I want to say is, Newcastle's defense looked really pathetic against Brighton, and it looked very jittery. The first game week, Newcastle looked really good, and everybody is still gung ho on them, considering that they got a second clean sheet consecutively. But I think they must have scored. Brighton should have scored in this game week. And I think some of you who benched Trippier, I think they were right in benching Trippier. Yes, he got away with 7 points, but it is just so poor of Brighton to not finish even one of those chances. I think Solly March, Benteke, I was saying, Solly March, and that forward, I just forgot his name. They should have closed their chances, I think. Pascal Gross, I think they should have taken their chances. They're not scoring even one goal with so many chances. It is really sad to see. And Brighton's defense, on the other hand, looked really good. I think Newcastle had just one or at max a couple of chances, and those two I don't think were big chances. I think one there was one big chance and there was a small chance. So I really feel that Newcastle's defense can be targeted by a team like Man City's. Now I know people are big on results that Newcastle has a couple of clean sheets, so they are not a prime contender and those guys. But what I saw with my eyes was Man City can easily ruin Newcastle's defense. So they can do with anybody, but just the last match of Newcastle, I think they looked very susceptible in the back. And I think bonus wise, BPS was not much. I think Pope got the maximum bonus points, 31 he had, then Weltman with 30, and then Dunk, Botman, Trippier, and Burn all finished with 28 points and shared that 1 point. So, yeah, these were the bonus points. Nothing much to add. I think Welbeck. I think Welbeck, the trio of Welbeck, uh, Pascal Gross, and Solly March is it's looking really good out there. And Trossard and everybody else are looking a bit fit. I think they're looking a bit less involved, but my eyes are on Solly March as my Bailey replacement. I know he's not being talked about enough, but with Brighton's fixtures, you never know. I might go for him. I really like his involvement. I really like his everything, but it's just that I don't know whether he's going to do that much for point 0.5 extra. So that is my thing. But I really liked whatever positions he was getting into, and I particularly had an eye for him because I knew that I had to get rid of Bailey. So I was keeping an eye on players like Willock and Solly March, who are in my zone, whom I can purchase, and I really liked what I saw. Weltman. Yeah, SK Weltman, SK, he got, I think, bonus wise, he got second maximum bonus point. So, yeah, he looked okay. He looked sharp. I think Weltman in corners looked really good. With his attacking threat, I'm saying, he looked good. Weltman looked good. The rest of the match, I don't think he was very sharp, but I think defensively he looked really good. So, if you are looking for a nice, cheap defensive option, I think Weltman is a good pick, considering that he also has some kind of offensive threat, and Brighton has some lovely fixtures. I think Newcastle had that attacking potential, but Brighton's defense is so good. That match I replayed the whole of match. I didn't see Newcastle had many good chances, so to speak. So I think defensively, Weltman is a good pick. Next, we will talk about my team, Man City and Bournemouth. I think I will come to Man City's match at last. I will talk heartily about them. So first we'll go to Southampton and Leeds. Now this is a you guys must have read the novel A Tale of Two Cities. Now this was the tale of two teams. I think Leeds, I think, should have got the 3 points in this match. I think both the teams defensively looked wrecked. I must use the word wrecked. Both of them looked defensively very jaded. And Rodrigo is consistently hauling for Leeds. I think Bamford looked injured in this match, and with if he is out for a couple of weeks or 3 weeks, I think you are punting on a forward. I think the best pick. People are going for Ivan Tony and everybody. I think the best pick is Rodrigo. Um, I don't know. He's listed as a forward or midfielder. I'm not sure. Whatever he's listed at, if he's listed as a midfielder, I think he's listed as a midfielder. I think Rodrigo is a great shout. I thought that in preseason matches also, but I thought, hey, it's just a preseason. I felt it in game week one, but I thought it's just a lucky break. In game week two, he didn't only score 2 goals. He was taking some very good positions, and funnily enough, his finishing also looks okay now. So I think if Leeds is involved in a goal, now that Bamford is out too, I think Rodrigo is a great shout. Kyle Walker-Peters scored for Southampton and Aribo. Now this Aribo guy looks really good to me. Although his minutes are being managed and he came off, he was substituted very late in the game. But I think if he becomes a regular starter and if he finds a place in Hassan Hotel's team in starting 11, I think Aribo is the one to look out for. He can be a really good pick. And bonus BPS wise, I think Rodrigo was way too wide. He had 49 BPS. Then next pick was Strike with 33, and then Aribo with 23. So they got the bonus points. And yeah, so this match was always when I find these matches like Southampton versus Leeds, it really these are really interesting matches with goals written all over it, weak defenses, teams wanting to move forward because these are the remember if it comes down to relegation, these are the sort of matches which these teams want to win. So if Southampton is in danger this year, they should win these kind of matches against the likes of teams who like to attack and everything. I think these are the kind of matches which you should win so that you can keep yourself afloat. I think these are the kind of matches you should win. Now this was about Southampton and Leeds. Now let's come to Wolves and Fulham. I think it was a very drab affair, Wolves versus Fulham. I did not watch the match. I just saw the highlights, and there wasn't much in it. And I think Metro got a penalty, I think, and I think he missed it. Sa is one of the better keepers. I spoke about it even before the FPL was launched this year, and I think he's proving that. Uh, Gibbs White, I was really impressed with Gibbs White again. And yeah, I don't have much to say about this about such match because you see Fulham is that kind of team. If you are thinking that they managed a draw against Liverpool and they look really attacking and they should have romped past Wolves, it doesn't happen that way. Uh, it is very difficult to match that kind of intensity. And Wolves, I think, should have win this match because they were playing at home. And I think these again, if Wolves are looking in danger of say an elimination or a relegation this season, I think this is the kind of match you should win at your home turf. Now Fulham, I think, is going back to Cottage, and they are, I think, playing Brentford. I'm not sure. I think Fulham has this really big gap, like Nottingham Forest. I think they play really well at home, and after game week one, -1 for Metro. Yeah, see, this is how FPL works. After game week one, most of the FPL managers were very high on Metro, and they were really like buying him and everything. And we sort of knew that see now most of the managers were started selling him, and now at home in the next game week he can again bang. So I think what SK means with this is you should give your players some time. They are not going to perform every every game week. Heck, even Salah doesn't perform every game week. So we should give time to our players. I think we you shouldn't be very impatient with them because the moment the game week you sell them, I think that's the game week when they have the highest probability of scoring. That's how I think the Bell's curve is also formed. That's how the law of averages take place. When a player who is performing consistently, you have to believe that your player will keep on performing, and the player who stops performing, if he is a good player, I think law of averages, it 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 holds after sooner or later it holds, and then that player scores. So I think just give your player some time. What rule I follow is I give them at least 3 to 4 game weeks. Most of the times I follow this rule, but sometimes it becomes difficult because see, if a bandwagon is really getting a lot of buyers, and the EO is really getting ahead of me, so I try to then get that player. Otherwise, I feel I give them 3 or 4 game weeks. I did not give Mahrez that much time because see, with Mahrez, I'm not sure whether he will start once in 4 weeks. Never, because Champions League is also coming. I think Pep always starts him in the Champions League. If that is the case again this year, again I see him missing PL matches. So I'm not sure. Once the Champions League starts, we'll get a better hold of things. And yeah, that I just think with Bay also, I'm ready to give Bay more chances. But the problem is being Bay is now that he did not start in second match, and the team won and looked better than the first game week. So this is the problem I'm having. So with Mitro too, I think if you are on Mitro, I think you should give him time. You should give some time to Mitro, and just don't let that missed penalty. He's still Fulham's talisman. See, the thing is, nothing changes in one game week. If you think that Mitro is the talisman of Fulham, and whatever goals Fulham will score will pass through Mitro, this is correct. This stands correct. This corollary is correct, and it is not going to be false after one bad game week or a couple of bad game weeks or even after 3 bad game weeks. Even after 3 game weeks, this information will stand correct that Fulham's talisman will be Mitrovic. Things don't change just like this. So yeah, just keep some faith in your players. Next was Brentford versus Manchester United. I think right now only Suman is watching the stream, and I don't think he would want to listen to this. But sadly, we have to discuss it. Brentford 4, Manchester United 0. Where to start? I think people on Twitter are really having go at Ten Hag. I see the problem is uh, people said Jose Mourinho was the problem. People said uh, the problem was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. People said the problem was Ranić. Now people are saying the problem is Eric Ten Hag. But I genuinely think that the problem lies in the quality of the players. I just don't see the likes of Fred, McTominay, Shaw, even Jaden Sancho. Now I am at a loss of words. I think this team needs at least 5 to 6 new players, and just not new players. I think they need some quality up top. They need better center backs. They were, I think, Lisandro Martinez. I don't know why Eric Ten Hag got him signed. I think he just looked very bad. I think Martinez looked rubbish. And yes, there were a couple of good moments, but I think it just looked really bad. I think some of the defending that Manchester United did, I think it was like it was club. It was not even club level. I think it was school level kind of defending. It was really poor to see that. And now David De Gea has also started. Uh, I think they shouldn't have let the other goalie Henderson leave, because I think even though he's a good shot stopper, this David De Gea, but I think he's not able to distribute the ball. The problem with what I find problematic with Ten Hag is I think he's one I find rate him as one of the best managers in the game right now, best modern managers. He likes to play from the back. He likes to build from the back, and that is where they did most of the errors. That is where Martinez came under pressure, Dahia came under pressure. Now, if you want to play from the back, if you want to play like they, you must have a goalkeeper who can distribute well. Now, Dean Henderson is a real. I saw that in the Nottingham Forest match. I think Dean Henderson really is very good at playing at the back. I think he's a very good distributor of the ball. Dahia just looks like a dinosaur to me. I think Dahia was just so stuck. I just don't know. His theory is something else. The kind of players he's getting, like the likes of Martinez and Starting Dahia, getting rid of Henderson, it just feels that I think he's not getting the kind of players he need. And when Ralph Rangnick, I really rate Ralph Rangnick as well. You see, when Ralph Rangnick said that he needs this club needs at least 10 or 11 good players, everybody made fun of him. See, this is the problem. You see, if a coach, if a manager has a certain kind of philosophy, see, if Conte is famous for his wing backs, that is why he's signing good wing backs like the likes of Perisic. He wants to have more good wing backs. Now, see, if Conte starts suddenly starts signing wing backs who are good defensively but are very poor attacking wise, now he is going against his theory only. That is the problem I'm having. All the managers who have come to Manchester United in the recent past, they have a certain kind of, apart from Solskjaer, because I think Solskjaer was just a bit new. I think he just came for the legacy thing. But I still feel that, like the likes of Mourinho, like the likes of Rangnick, especially, I think they are very top-rated managers. And if the management, if the owners are not going to give them what they need, I just don't see. You just keep on changing managers. Now, after certain games, you will start shouting Ten Hag out, but that doesn't make any sense. I think this team needs an overhaul and needs a mental conditioning coach. I think they are down in the dumps right now. It just doesn't matter how long and how good you speak. I think they might come back and win against Liverpool next match, and everybody says, "Yeah, Ten Hag is back, Manu is back," and the next match they again lose 5-0 to say Nottingham Forest. You just don't know what will happen to them. I think they are imploding. They're not exploding. They're imploding, Man United, and it is very sad to see such a sorry state of affairs. And I feel that the owners are most of the this should fall on the owners. I think this is very baseless, senseless that you keep on sacking managers but you don't sack players. This is just bizarre to me. And that is the reason the talent likes of Frankie de Jong is not wanting to come here, because everybody has understood that this club is going to fall apart if the manager, if the owner doesn't start do anything of some sort of semblance, anything sensible. You see, um, I really feel that it's a very sorry state of affairs to see like that. Man United losing 4-0. And the thing is, losing 4-0 is one thing, and looking down and out, I think in the second half they still looked better than the first half. I see what I really liked was the best player out of the 11 was when Malaysia came in the second half. I think Malaysia, if I'm not butchering his name, I think the kind of intent he showed, it showed that Malaysia is playing for that badge of Manchester United. I think he just flung himself on the field. There, I think Bruno used to show that. Now, what I feel is that suddenly these players, they are just, I think they're just going through the motions. They are playing with a lot of fear. I think they are. I just don't know how to get rid of this problem, and I feel that the owners must do something. They must buy some quality players. I think McTominay and Fred and even Harry Maguire now, Dahia, Lisandro Martinez, just been signed, and now they're getting Rabiot. I think Premier League has gone onto another level, and these players might help you in a French league or in a Bundesliga. But I think in Premier League, even they will find it really difficult against even the likes of Brighton or a Brentford, which clearly show. So enough of that. I think Brentford looked really good. I think Brentford, the best part of Brentford is their manager Thomas, and he knew that Eric Ten Hag has come with a change of system in his mind, and he knew that the Man United players will not be ready to adapt to that system right away, and that is why the press was so quick, and I think it was so intense. That press made a lot of mistakes from Manchester United, and the goals were scored by Da Silva. I think people are thronging on Da Silva. I still feel his goal was a very lucky goal. I think Dahia, 9 out of 10 times, Dahia would have saved it. Unfortunately, when things are not going your way, it, there's a saying, when it rains, it pours, and that is what happened, I think, that day. Jensen, Mbumo, and Ben Mee, these were the goals that were being scored. Had a couple of assists, and I think Brentford looked solid. I won't say they looked fabulous. I think they looked good, and the rest of it was made up by how bad Manchester United looked. I think Man United can still pull it back, even with the same squad. I think Eric Ten Hag needs to understand that his philosophy of playing from the back is slightly not going to work with these kind of players. I think he needs to have a plan B and a plan C. He needs to have a contingency plan, and I think he needs to amalgamate his working style, his playing style, with how with what kind of players he already has in his team. And I think if he tries to do that, I think this can be a much better team. If he feels that no, if it is more like Bielsa. When it works, it works. If it doesn't work, you start losing big. And this is the same. If he still believes that the team should play this way only and there is no other way of playing, I think it is going to be a very long season for Man United then, because these players are, first, they are not cut out for playing from the back, and secondly, they are not in a habit of playing out from the back. What Ten Hag is trying is to cultivate that habit. It's not difficult, but it will take time, and it can take 6 game weeks, it can take 10 game weeks, but till then, would they be ready for another 5-0 drubbing, a 6-0 drubbing? And now the thing is, they are playing Liverpool, and Liverpool has already put so many goals past them the previous season. Will Ten Hag still have the tenacity to ask his players to go for it, to start and play from the back against the likes of pressing monsters like Salah and Diaz? The only silver lining for them is that Nunes is not now out, and with Nunes out, I think Firmino will start. I think Jota is still not fully fit, and I think Liverpool has also looked a bit out of sorts. So I feel if Manchester United could have played them, this there isn't a much better time to play them right now. I think Liverpool is looking their worst right now, and let's see what happens. But I think Brentford is looking quite good. Man United has to change their ways a bit. I think they can't start playing from the back again against Liverpool. I think it otherwise we are looking at a sort of a potential drubbing. Next, we'll move on to Nottingham Forest versus West Ham United. Now, a lot of hysteria, a lot of good memories, and a lot of good fun for Nottingham Forest fans after so many years. I think after 2.5 decades, they got this Premier League win at home against a quality opposition like West Ham United. But the thing is, West Ham missed a lot of chances. I think West Ham should have won this game. That is what the results don't show. I think West Ham looked really good. It is just that they weren't able to finish. The goal that Nottingham Forest scored, I think that was also lucky for them, because Lingard had a shot at the goal and he completely mistimed the ball. And to his luck, and to Nottingham Forest's luck, the ball went on to Evonei, if I'm pronouncing his name right, his foot, and he sort of scored the goal. So yeah, I think there isn't much to say about this game, but Nottingham Forest has signed some really good players. They have all he has Nottingham has also signed uh, Dennis. We all know Dennis and his combination with King last season. I think Dennis might be seen in some of the drafts because he is going to start. I think they are going from Mope also. Now that's a very interesting pick. Whom they will start? They have the likes of now Evany, Mope, Taylor, and now Dennis also. So that would be a very interesting watch. Next was Chelsea Tottenham. Oh, I think that it would be very difficult to have a match like this in the rest of the season. I think what drama it was. At the end of it, I think Chelsea deserved a victory, but life is unfair. So is sports, so is football, and I think Chelsea has to move past it. Tottenham looked good for the first 10 minutes. I think the rest of the time, I think the scoreline doesn't show, but Tottenham was, I think, just following Chelsea. I think Tottenham looked the proper second best team amongst them, and I think Chelsea should have won this 2-0. I did not see, I cannot comprehend by for the life of me how those two goals were allowed by the ref. And I was very surprised that the VR also allowed these sort of goals. So yeah, there isn't much to say, but I think Chelsea and Tottenham. But I think the drama was there. The kind of fight that Tuchel and Conte were involved in. I really like this drama. I think these are the moments when a youngster is watching. I think yeah, people say that they have to be mature enough and everything. But you see, if there wouldn't be any drama, you see, if there wouldn't be any conflicts, if there wouldn't be any fights, it would be very difficult for a youngster to hook onto the game. I think the grades, the fights, the drama, the theater, everything makes for this wonderful sport. And for every sport to be successful, these are some of the components that are needed. And I think if you are a Chelsea fan and you went to Stamford Bridge that match, I think you might grow up to be a footballer just because of this match. The kind of passion you had for your team, the kind of passion the opposition showed for their team, and rightly so. And I think it was a great match. I have already spoken so much about Reece James. I think he shouldn't be out of your teams. Don't sell him for another good 7 million midfielder because James is going to score. And uh, in some of the matches, he will score and he will have a clean sheet and he will have a 21 pointer again. Three, four times, I think, in the season. I think you should keep an eye on it. Even though when he's playing right center back, I think he's dangerous. I think you shouldn't overthink that in some of the tough matches he will start as a right center back. In the easier of the matches, he will start as a wing back. I don't think this is untrue or this is false, but I what I think is this is some sort of an overthinking, and you must get rid of this overthinking and just try to get James in your team. I think it looked fabulous. Koulibaly looked really good. I think Cooley was good in defense, good in offense. Uh, just a great pick, I think. And Kane, I think Harry Kane scored that goal. Great goal by Harry Kane. I think the thing with Harry Kane is, again, like the first match, he was not involved in the second game. I think the most involved I saw was either Son or the wing backs. Perisic looked really good. I think as soon as Perisic came into the side, I think he infused a kind of certain energy in them, and that assist he scored. So we all have seen the kind of potential Perisic has, and I guess if he needs to start some matches before the Champions League start, I think Wolves match, the next match will be that match. And like me, if you don't have Perisic, I think we need a sofa to see it from behind because Perisic looked very dangerous. Perisic looked immaculate for them. Chelsea, I think, uh, after a long time, I saw Chelsea playing really nicely and really gelling well. I think they should have scored at least three more goals. I think Raheem Sterling missed an absolute sitter. I think Kai Havertz missed a couple of absolute sitters. I think Havertz is really missing some goals, and if he continues to do so, I think his place might soon be in jeopardy. And I think they are missing a number 9, and I think I just don't see them. I Yes, they are going for Anthony Gordon, but I just don't see. I just feel that Anthony Gordon is also going to do the same. I just cannot comprehend why they're going for it. I think they should just try to get Oba as quickly as they can. I think even proper number 10 would have been there yesterday or whenever that match was. I think it could easily have been 4 or 5 goals for Chelsea. That was, I think, Spurs looked very bad defensively. And Spurs, I think, the problem with Spurs is, I think, the kind of the kind of conflicts and involvements they were having consistently with the Chelsea players, it was taking a lot out of them. And due to that, I think the Chelsea players looked really jaded. Sorry, the Tottenham players looked really involved and burnt out. And uh, I think whenever they were sort of attacking Tottenham, they looked good. But whenever they were attacking, their defense was fine wanting. I think if any team can really do the defense to offense thing very quickly, I think they will always find Tottenham struggling. So yeah, this was Chelsea Tottenham. I think it is a contender for a game of the season. I think it was a really good game, and I hope you most of us watched it because it was a wonderful watch. Last but not the least, the last night's game. Sorry, second last, Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. Now, I think Liverpool should have won it very easily. Liverpool got a hell lot of chances. I think I just don't understand why they did not score any. I think Salah missed out on a couple of absolute sitters. I think Nunes missed out on a couple of absolute sitters. I think uh, I'm just forgetting his name. Another one of their players got into really good this, and he missed a couple of chances. Diaz really saved you guys, but I think Liverpool should have easily won this game. Although they are our competitors, and but I still feel Liverpool should have won this game very easily, very comprehensively. Because the good thing with Crystal Palace is Zaha got a couple of chances. Zaha scored one, missed one. I think Zaha looks really good, and I feel Anderson, the defender who was hit by Nunes, I think he's a very smart defender. He's a very great. I think he's a very good defender, and his long balls and his distribution, I think his defense, I really like the looks of him. And I think uh, once the once their fixtures sort out, I think I will go for a Crystal Palace player. I think Vieira has really transformed them. They look so organized, and I feel Anderson. I think he can be a sort of player that a Spurs might enjoy. So I don't know, but I think he might go into a Spurs team or a say Chelsea team, but I see him going to Spurs. And I think Man United should give an arm and a leg for a player like Anderson. I don't know why they considered the likes of, say, a Lisandro Martinez. He might still surprise me, but I just can't see it happening. I think we need to now understand the managers, the scouts need to understand that some of the good players or some of the above average players in the other leagues are might not be enough in the English Premier League. I think the scouts need to make this change because earlier some of the leagues were different and some players directly came and scored in the English Premier League. But now I think the Premier League is making a big gap over the other leagues, and this should be kept in mind when you are getting a player for your club. And I know the scout. If I know this, the scouts must know this. But then again, transfers like Martinez really bother me. And it see if tomorrow or day after tomorrow he keeps a clean sheet and score one, you all will come and say, "Hey, you are wrong. Martinez is a class player." But I think a class player is defined by consistency, and I don't see Martinez being consistent 36 or 38 games. I think if he's even consistent for 5 game weeks out of 38 game weeks, I think that United should take it. Last but not the least, Manchester City versus Bournemouth. Now, I still feel Haaland is the best asset to have. I am telling you guys, I am on this rut of Haaland. Bournemouth just had four defenders in front of him, two defenders covering him. Bournemouth had just one agenda. They did not have the agenda of scoring goals. They had just one agenda, and that was to stop Haaland. And that is the primary reason Haaland was unable to move. I think things will change once the opposition has seen that Kevin De Bruyne, the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, Phil Foden, Gundogan, Mahrez also start scoring. They will try to put markers on all of them, and I think then you will see the Haaland coming. I think, moreover, with more matches under his belt and under their belt, I think the Man City teammates, I think they're consistently looking for Haaland. I think Haaland in his assist to Gundo already showed us that he has this vision, and I think it is a very interesting debate. Everybody is debating on social media whether Foden was benched. Sorry, he was substituted in the second half because he did not pass that ball to Haaland, or because of other issues. See, I like my club, and but I must come straight to the point. I think he was substituted because he did not pass the ball to Haaland straight up. I think Pep was not happy, and I think Pep sends a message. What Pep wants to send is, this might be the 90th minute of a Champions League final or a EPL decider match, and if you had that kind of opportunity, you must pass the ball to a number nine who is Haaland, who has been bought for the sole purpose of scoring goals and playing a number nine. And if you get greedy at that point and try to score yourself and become the hero of sorts, then sorry, you will be dropped and you will be benched. And I think the message has been sent clear. I think I agree with the message of sorts. I think it was a clear goal in the making. People will say that, oh, many players do that in that team, that happens in, but there is a reason that City is the champion, and there is a reason that Pep is the best manager in the world, and that is because they don't accept mediocrity. And Foden was mediocre there and what I think is, he already scored a goal and an assist, and yet Pep substituted him. Had there been another manager, he would have thought, oh no, he has scored this much, he might feel bad or something. But I'm telling you guys, even if Foden would have scored that goal by himself and not passed the ball to Haaland, he still would have been dropped or substituted at halftime. This is how Pep thinks, because he doesn't believe in those outcomes. He's not that outcome oriented manager. He's more of a process driven manager. And if the process says that your chance of scoring is difficult than his chance of scoring, then you must pass the ball to him. And it is not Foden. If Haaland would have been in his place and Foden would have been there, I think he would have benched Haaland too in the second half. This is the kind of manager that Pep is, and I'm really proud of this fact, because see, Pep has made all these players. Pep really respects them, but these players need also understand that Pep has no personal grudge against anybody. So I think it was a fair call. I think Foden is a very classy player, but he needs to get his decision making right. He needs to understand when he can shoot and score goals, and when the other player, because Haaland literally had nobody in front of the goal. Even the goalie was not there. Goalie was facing Phil Foden. If he could have just passed the ball, I think that was a sure shot goal. Any which ways, I think this was a sum of defensively. I think City is looking really good, and I'm really ruining myself for not having another City defender or a goalkeeper. I just think that City is going to be one keeping at least 20 clean sheets this season. Last season, I think they kept 19 clean sheets. I think this season they have the potential to keep even 20 clean sheets. So this was it, guys. This was we discussed almost all the games, the players, forms, and everything. Uh, I will come live tomorrow almost at the same time. Tonight, I might be making a video with my missus about how our teams fared and everything. It was an I think most of the teams are quite similar in nature. And one point I really like to make home is, just keep in mind, guys, there are no bad picks, as so to speak, this season. Every pick is good pick. If you say, if you have Martinelli, he's scoring. If you have Jesus, he's scoring. If you have a Cucurella, he's doing good. If you have a Haaland, he's doing good. Kane, he scored. Most of the players are doing good. So think twice before making a luxury substitution of getting rid of a great player for another great player, because everybody is sort of doing good. But still, if you have access to, if you can get to Haaland somehow, please get to Haaland. I'm telling you, whenever I watch my club, they have the potential to score 10, 12 goals, guys. Just understand this fact. So please, if you have the access to Haaland, just go for Haaland and just make it happen. So, okay, guys, that would be all for now. I will see you guys tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll discuss on some other aspects of the game. This is the game I love. I don't plan much. I don't see much. I watch see. There are two ways of making content. Some of the managers are really busy making stats and graphs and everything, and then they plot. And I really respect them. It's really hard work. I do a lot of writing, and still in weekends I keep my profession away and I try to focus on my hobby, that is watching football. And I watch a lot of football, so that, and I make notes also, so that I can tell you guys what my eyes saw, what you can comprehend it FPL wise and football wise. It's so fun. This game is so fun. It unites us. So yeah, my hard work is giving pain to my eyes and watching so much of football across the weekend and understanding it. And some of the matches, at one time 5 or 6 matches are being played, and I watch a match, and then rest of matches I replay them and I watch them. I don't just watch the highlights until unless I'm really tired. Most of the matches I replay and I then see, and then I try to think who's coming into good positions. And I like it this way. I like to do my things this way. So okay guys, that was all. We'll see you soon tomorrow, I think, and ciao.